Good morning. I'm Baron Battlebred, the Game Master, and welcome back to Whispers in Regate. Last time on Regate, our players had facilitated a jailbreak with the help of their new fairy friend. They managed to escape the clutches and the arrows of the guards chasing them. A large magical surge happened due to our fairy friend, and they found themselves in a field outside of a wall, under a meteor shower. Just before we left, they discovered that they were standing outside of Regate. We go down to the party discussing their next move.
Fred, as our characters are looking around, how far away is that meteor?
I'm staring at it.
Yeah,
we're
you are
watching it cruise through the sky.
You did. You would say it landed just at the base of the mountains on the other side of the King's Forest. It's probably a good 3-hour walk if you were going to go look at it.
Like a full day round trip, basically.
Yeah. It's probably a full day because you'd have to walk there, investigate it, and come back. And who knows what you're going to meet in the forest anyway. People don't go in the King's Forest as it is. So yeah, you're standing there. It's evening. You're under a starry night sky for the first time in 3-4 years. For Sarah. That's right. You're standing next to a road. There are a good number of carts and people and merchants and just goods flowing in and out of this main gate. A surprising amount, especially for nighttime, honestly. It's like everybody's heading inside trying to finish off their day.
The Grace Fairy did say we were going to the past. This is before the plane shift.
I haven't seen the sky in over 3 years.
What's the sky?
I'll explain later.
I see what's coming.
Knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do?
I think we need to get somewhere safe. Somewhere. We need to calculate. Sorry. We need to gather our thoughts.
Okay. You know that there are a number of inns in town. You also know that you have your own personal dwelling that you could attempt to reach, as well as you, Thaddeus. You also have a dwelling that you could attempt to get to. So I guess the decision here is, would you rather pay for some place to stay, or would you rather stay somewhere free?
We could stay at my place. I'm usually working this late.
Is there a you that is working late?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where we're at, or when we're at. But if this is the past, we can head over to my place because it's going to be relatively safe, and I'm going to be working late anyway.
Go there the one time you don't work late.
All right, I'm in. Let's head there. We'll discuss our next moves. Figure out exactly when we are.
I love how it's when we are, not where we are.
Okay. You guys go to head into the city. It's about a 20-minute walk to the main gate from where you guys landed. You join the line of people entering. You pass with no problem. Nobody questions you. There's no stop at the gate. There's no looking for your adventurer's cards. everything is surprisingly easy and normal.
I would think instinctively, like, Elise would go for the adventuring card, ready to pull it out to show them. Does she even have it still, or is it left in the past or in the future?
No, it's still in your pocket. You have it, like, you can pull it out. You have it in your hand, ready to show it to the guards, and they're just waving everybody through. Like, come on, it's late. The shift is almost over. Let's finish this off. Not even questioning it.
Side note, as you're going to pull out your adventurer's card, you notice a necklace.
Yeah, that's true. She would probably notice the necklace as she's pulling out the adventurer's card. It's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, that's easy enough. It was in your pocket. You go for your adventurer's card, and you find an extra necklace.
I don't remember taking this.
I don't remember. Maybe this is from the vault or from the ferry.
Maybe.
I could have swore the adventurer's card was from before the phase shift, but apparently I'm mistaken. Faulty memory.
It takes from the northern gate that you have entered in. It takes probably 45 minutes to walk across town to Thaddeus's dwelling. You get there and you see there is a light on. There's a candle burning in the window.
Thaddeus, are you home? As I look up at you.
Come to think about it, I don't even know if I'm home. Could somebody else go knock on the door?
Sarah will start walking that way.
Well, I suppose the robot's the right choice.
All right, Sarah, you're going to go up and knock on the door?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This has no way that this could go wrong.
Sarah goes up and knocks on the door. The door is answered by a very tired-looking Thaddeus.
Hello, father.
Huh?
The door is immediately shut by a very tired-looking Thaddeus. You hear from inside the dwelling, you can hear the scrambling and scraping of metal as probably searching for something. And suddenly the door is thrown back open and Thaddeus is standing there holding a small hammer.
Who are you?
My name is Sarah. You created me.
I've created a lot of things. I don't remember creating you.
That's weird. Let me go ask you. As I turn around and walk away.
As you turn around and walk away, Sarah, Thaddeus looks up in the direction that you're looking, the direction that you're walking, and he locks eyes with you, Thaddeus. And as he does, you guys watch as Thaddeus, in the dwelling, his eyes roll back into his head. His limbs start elongating. You hear a terrible crunching and creaking sound as the floor underneath him starts to break under a massive weight as his body splits open and a large mechanical being steps out.
Well, that is not natural.
I don't remember this happening.
Stepping out of the dwelling is an 8-foot tall machine wielding a massive double-bladed glaive. It is vaguely humanoid in shape, but has a very large and shockingly wide midsection. So it kind of looks like a disc with a torso and legs. And it is going to walk up to you, Thaddeus. As it does. Yeah.
I'm just in shock.
I don't think that's friendly. Did you build that?
No, I didn't build this. I'm not sure what this is.
The machine walks up to the group, following along behind Sarah, and it stops in front of you. It tilts so that it's staring you in the eyes, Thaddeus, and it only utters 2 words. Paradox removed. And then it about faces and marches off down the street.
Thaddeus, I think I killed you.
Huh. Okay, well, let's go on in.
That's it. Just all right.
You go over to the doorway, and where there should be a body of Thaddeus, having been ripped apart as the machine stepped out of him, there's nothing there. No break in the floor. No blood. No body pieces. It's just calm. Even the candle in the window isn't flickering anymore.
I must say, that's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
I'll let you know when I regain consciousness.
If you fell over, if Thaddeus fell over, at least we'll drag him in.
Okay. Thaddeus passes out a little bit, and Elise drags him inside. The door is shut. You are standing in Thaddeus's house. It's about as messy of a workspace as you expect. There are little bits and pieces of machinery on all flat surfaces except for the bed, in which case they are piled at the foot of the bed on the floor, as if they get kicked off every night.
Yeah, it's a workshop home.
After a few minutes, Thaddeus regains his consciousness.
Oh, had a horrible dream. I dreamt that I was split in 2.
Sarah's right next to you to reassure you that it was not a dream.
It can
Really?
be a dream. That's fine. You could keep it as a dream. The existential threat we are facing might be a bit unreasonable. No, it seems there's another dimension here that we are facing.
Another literal dimension.
The 4th dimension. No, that just speaking more figuratively.
Well, I mean, we're no longer in limbo, so we are literally in another dimension.
If that construct said paradox removed and I'm still here, what does that mean?
Maybe you are the you from the future now? You are the past you from the future. Words.
Perhaps it's when you get close enough to your own self, or you become aware of yourself. That's when the paradox is removed.
Well,
Or
I don't know what to make of this, but I am hungry.
sure,
right.
get your food.
Thaddeus, roll me a wisdom check.
That's going to be a 14.
Nice. Yeah, you do remember where the food in your kitchen is kept.
I should think so. It's my house.
You would think so, but you did just have a fainting spell. You find yourself drawn to your prototype icebox.
Prototype.
We're in the past.
We're in
Yeah,
the past, and it's...
I'm surprised I got to the prototype stage already.
Yeah, things usually stay there for a while.
Well,
So they were already in works on it when the Gouda fellows went after the ice heart thing.
Shimmer's not there.
I'm talking as Noelle. Noelle knows nothing about the Gouda fellows.
Shimmer knows nothing about the Gouda fellows.
Anyway, you find yourself drawn to your prototype icebox. Upon opening it, you unfortunately had already eaten your lunch.
never gonna have lunch.
Double lunch gone.
Not my lunch.
But you guys are safe and, I would say, comfortable inside the dwelling.
Well, aside from the fact that I have a million questions, I think we should really plan out what our next move is, and also I think we should probably avoid interacting with ourselves.
Yes, we've already killed one of ourselves in the past. Let's not finish the job.
No hesitation. Just, hey, yeah, you're already dead.
There is another possibility that it doesn't have anything to do with us specifically. What about changing the past? Will that inflict a paradox as well?
I'm not sure, but at this point, after seeing what I just saw, I don't think I want to risk it.
So, what's your guys' plan? You find yourself in Reygate. It is nighttime. You've just seen something, frankly, horrendous. How do you want to handle this?
I imagine for the moment they're probably trying to share a tea and come to terms with the existential the existential threats they are facing at the moment, and the idea of time travel as just ordinary people.
Yeah, I can see that being a thing. Do you want to roll me an intelligence check? Elise.
Sure. That's a 13.
That's not bad. You would know that if you have time traveled and your past self has died in that sense, then effectively your future self should also disappear.
But it hasn't. And that's why I stated the thing I tried to say earlier.
Right.
The you from the future is now the you from the past.
Right.
So by that logic, and like this is all the words that's kind of like coming out of her is the explanation. And then she follows it up with, by that logic, then that Thaddeus never existed, and you are now that Thaddeus.
Yes.
Spooky stuff.
Which makes no sense. But but yes.
But I remember the past 3 years, and the past 3 years I wasn't remembering as me now, so how can me now remember the past 3 years then when I wasn't then now?
Human minds are malleable.
That is
You get a
horrifying.
1,000-mile stare from Sarah.
Human minds are malleable. That's pretty creepy, Sarah. I'm gonna be honest. That's creepier than the robot coming out of Thaddeus.
Well, as much as I'd like to have an existential crisis right now, I think we have bigger things to worry about, such as figuring out what we're going to do. I'm not sure if we should warn the people now at this point.
And like this isn't a final conclusion that Elise comes to, but a thought that she shares. Says, well, if paradoxes are a danger for us, why don't we just skip town? If the city is guaranteed for limbo, why don't we get out while we can? Look out for numero uno.
I don't know if we should do that or not.
Well, what's to stop us? What obligations have we to these people? These people were never here for us.
Well, if the past, if we can, hang on, I got to collect my thoughts on this.
It's complicated, right?
It's not so much that it's complicated; it's that it's just it's an existential crisis. You know, I don't want to have it, but I'm having it. But if I was destroyed and now my future self is my past self, then maybe there is still a chance that we can save the city.
And what if we can't? Who are we? We're just going to tell them, hey, don't sacrifice people. And that'll work?
At this point, there is a voice behind you, Elise, like, I mean...
So everyone turns around shocked to see Shimmer.
Yeah. Like, I think it's logical not to sacrifice people. What are we talking about?
Are you Shimmer from the future or the current Shimmer?
As far as I'm aware, I'm the only Shimmer. She is going to grab. Are you holding the necklace or is it in your pouch?
In the pouch.
I'm gonna grab your pouch and pull out my necklace and put it on.
Well, that explains that.
That's it? That's all it took?
Sometimes the simplest explanation is the easiest.
So, what's this about future, current, murdering people, cult, sacrificing people? What's all this?
How long have you seen the night sky before, Shimmer?
I have. It's been maybe a year or two, but
If you look out that window, there is a night sky.
he's gonna go look.
We are 3 years before you and I met. More than that.
Huh?
Necessarily.
How the fuck does that happen?
Valid reaction.
She's just gonna shake her head and sit down. Oh, okay. All right then.
What happened to Regate was a cult made a tremendous blood sacrifice, dislodging the city from real life, I guess? I'm not an astrologer. I'm not a cosmologist, but the city was then displaced into limbo.
Like that play.
Yes,
Wait, that play was real?
the play is real.
Well, that seems important.
It's topical, you know,
Fair.
contemporary. So, it stands. There are 4 of us that know this plane is about to see tremendous sacrifice. Not sure exactly how far before these events we are. Or, actually, by all technicalities, this could even be afterwards. We can't be certain of anything at this moment.
If it's that is, what do we do?
What do we do? Yeah, so, the questions we really have to find for ourselves is, Can we even save this world, this regate? Is it doomed from the start? And would we just be wasting our own lives, our own freedoms, to some end that cannot be realized?
It looked like a big sacrifice. I don't. If was from the play, and we're just 4 people. What's 4 people against an entire cult?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Roll me a history check.
Really, we're only 3 people and a tiny little robot. Wait, is Sarah tiny? I can't remember. Or is it
Yes.
Thaddeus that's
She's
tiny?
3 feet.
They're both tiny.
They're both tiny.
A dirty 20.
Thaddeus
history.
isn't tiny. Thaddeus is a human who was raised by dwarves.
I am a very, very tall person. Totally. At 3 foot tall. And being a robot.
Shimmer, you would remember that in the middle of the play, to the best of your knowledge, it was 4 people that initially went up against the cult to try and stop them. They ultimately failed, but they did try.
Again, look, there are 4 people. I mean, apparently 4 people went against it and failed. Wait, was it us? Did the play say that we had to go face the cult?
The play did not give names.
Okay, so yeah, now that becomes more. It's like with the shivers, like, oh no, it has to be us, isn't it?
So you think that the play is about us, then? From the past? And we just never
I mean-
realized it?
How am I supposed to know? I just got here.
That is a good point.
I wasn't even in Regate at the time of this whole situation.
I think I would remember saving the city, though. Thaddeus, did you save the city in the past?
You would think that Thaddeus would remember being ripped out of reality.
You would think
I don't
that
even
Thaddeus would
remember being
what?
ripped out of reality.
Well,
What?
It's sort of a graphic story. I don't want to tell you much more than do not look yourselves in the eye, or it could have catastrophic results.
Okay then.
Do not, under any circumstance, try to meet yourself.
I mean, myself isn't here, so that shouldn't be an issue.
There is one thing that we have that no one else could have had the first time around, and that is knowledge of these events. That is one thing that makes us more than just 3. And 3.5.
That's a good point. But do we have enough knowledge to stop it? Like, everything I know is from a play.
that's more than what the people around you know. Not these people around you, but like that's more than the citizens around you know.
That's true.
Yeah. Alicia
That would...
sighs. You're going to make me do this. You're going to convince me. I guess I will just... We'll do it. We'll save reality.
Yay!
Elise kind of like wrestles in her own head the fact that she doesn't have to do this, but at the same time, no one else can.
All right. So I'd say it's pretty late into the night now. You might want to take a rest. And, come back to tackle this problem in the morning with clear heads that, aren't haunted by the vision of Thaddeus being ripped in twain.
Yep.
Okay.
I will go sit in a corner in Thaddeus's room and go into Power Saver mode.
I bet Thaddeus hears this from the voice of God.
Poor Thaddeus. On that note, you all take a long rest.
All the voices in his head are just different versions of Thaddeus before he went back in time.
If
Every time had different results, so every time leads to a different voice in his head.
It's been a time loop the whole time.
While you are all taking a long rest, Thaddeus, I want you to roll me a wisdom save.
I rolled an 8.
Thaddeus, in the middle of the night, like right about the middle of your long rest here, a voice worms its way into your ear, and you wake up with you wake up, like, and you can hear it clearly as this creepy, raspy voice just whispers in your ear, "You might be the one."
As he wakes up.
As he wakes up. And then nothing after that.
I look around to see if I see where the voice came from.
Roll me a perception check.
21.
You don't notice anyone else in the room or anything out of place other than you notice that the shades, the curtains of your window are fluttering, even though the window is closed.
Huh.
Sarah's in the corner,
Sarah is in the corner, but
staring at your bed. In power saver mode.
like the dim lit, backlit eyes.
Yep.
But, nothing out of the ordinary.
Right, and just for reference, the dim-lit, backlit eyes are yellow, like Power Saver.
Of course they are.
Yes.
You do manage to go back to sleep, though, and finish your long rest. You all wake up. In the morning, it's, timeline-wise, it's probably about 9 o'clock. There is a lot of hustle and bustle on the streets outside. People milling about all over in a way that you haven't seen in years.
I haven't seen.
And Sarah has never seen this many people.
and Shiver's probably never seen it here in Regate.
That's true. It looks like a lively, large town.
Oh, I forgot how busy the city is.
What would you guys like to do today?
I am going to hold Thaddeus' hand if we go anywhere because I'm scared I'm going to get lost.
It's got to be at least 4 times, 5, 6 times what it was in the future, in Limbo.
I think the first thing we should do is we should find somebody and tell them what's going to happen.
Who do you think we should tell?
Who will
I
listen?
don't.
And who has the power to do something about it?
I'm not sure, but we need to tell somebody. Was the NoTa company around at this time, or did they form after?
They were around at this time.
So Thaddeus would probably try to first talk to his former employers, who are now his current employers, because, time travel.
Wait, so are they your employers now, or are they employers later?
Are they employers now, or are they employers later, or are they employers then? When is then now?
It's then now. 3 years previous, during the festival, did Thaddeus work for the NoTa company?
You know what? No, he didn't work for the NoTa company.
Okay. Easy peasy then. So you want to attempt to go talk to Nalia and Talia. Nala and Talia. Your
future
Not yet.
employers.
But then future employers.
Yes.
Okay. That's your first stop. Sure. I guess talk to the party about it.
Well, Elise, Shimmer, I think, and Sarah, I think we should talk to the Nalia and Talia.
Nala and Talia.
Right. That's what I said.
Don't start this.
And we should talk to them. So, are they going to take our word for
Well-
what we
And
told
what, like, why would they listen to us? And what can they do about it if they do?
Well, it's the best that I can think of right now. I'm still reeling from the fact that I saw myself get ripped in half.
You saw what?
I'll explain later.
I'll explain later.
Remember
Okay.
back to 3 years ago. Is there anyone you knew? We don't want to go with anybody that I knew, because if I run into myself, the same thing will happen to me that happened to you. Is there anybody that you remember from 3 years ago that will listen to you?
Go ahead and roll me a history check. Thaddeus?
16.
You know that you would know that the easiest people with power in the city that talk to your average ordinary people are Inspector Valerian Blackthorn of the City Watch and Captain Jury of the City Guard.
Well, considering that, I guess the only other person I know is the City Watch, because I know the City Guard, somebody in the City Guard, but I really don't want to talk to the City Guard right now, considering the ordeal that I had before the ordeal that I had.
What? Oh, okay then.
That the city guard is compromised, don't we? Wasn't it?
Did do the average citizen know that?
Roll me a
Elise would.
history check, at least. I did not think how many history checks might be involved in this. There's probably going
We
to be a
are
lot.
in the past.
There's probably going to be a lot. With
That's
a
13.
with a 13 and your background and what you know and understand of it, there were cultists. You know that after the whole sacrifice thing happened, the city guard had to be rebuilt, like from the ground up, even. Because there was no way of knowing who was and who wasn't actually part of the initial plan.
I do think the guard is the wrong direction to go. I remember either they can't do anything because they're not strong enough, or they are corrupt. And in both cases, they're useless to us.
Yes. We could always talk to like the nobility.
I think that is a sound answer.
Shimmer is going to change form into a human woman. She's pale skin, very very clear, perfectly maintained hair and skin and everything like that. Of course, she is nobility after all. Beautiful, sparkling eyes. Not actually literally sparkling, but you know, other people would describe it as such.
Figuratively.
Very much a high-class woman. Obviously nobility at first glance. A noble woman. A noble human woman.
Okay. Then I would like you to roll me a history check to see who you remember.
Not 20 plus 3, 23.
You would know that after you found your way into Regate, the person who was the easiest to make friends with was Lady Serafina Artmond. And you happen to know where she lives. Over in the Upper West Regate. So, you got... Is that where you guys are going?
I think before we should head out, Elise, if you have a disguise, you might want to put it on just in case you encounter your past self.
That is an excellent idea. She'll cast Disguise Self to transform into a noble woman of her own. Or, could be a noble man.
It's up to you. An
I need to figure
androgynous.
out where my... What? I need to figure out what my kingdom is called. Where I'm from. Don't I?
I forgot.
I never gave it a name.
Oh, well, and I don't feel bad about forgetting.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. I just assumed I didn't remember.
Roll a history check to see if you remember, Bread.
Anyway, so while you're working on that, you guys gather your things. You're prepared and ready to follow Shimmer to her then but not now friend's house. And you make your way out of the Eastern Village. You pass through the Upper Ward. There are people all over the place, running around carrying goods and banners and building things. There are small platforms being set up on almost every corner. There are brightly colored banners with the city colors on it, the blues and silvers and purples, being hung from windows. You make your way through the Upper Ward into the bazaar where people are selling things that are like someone's selling cookies in big W shapes. Like people are preparing for the festival that you know is to come. Traveling through the shipping lanes, the Arcane Isles, and into Upper West Regate, where the old houses are, the large mansions. It is quiet here. There's nobody in the streets of Upper West Regate. And as you follow Shimmer to Lady Serafina's house, you get up there, you knock on the door, and there is no answer.
Not even a servant.
Not even a servant.
Well, this is unfortunate. Likely, well, given the fact this is a big festival, they're probably busy. Which is unfortunate because we need to warn them.
You may have to go hunt them down.
Indeed. In the meantime, shall we go look around, try to find someone without trying to be too suspicious?
What, you mean like wander the city and not tell people that they're all doomed?
Well, I mean that would probably get us thrown in prison or murdered.
Yeah, I would like to avoid prison again.
Again? When did you end up in prison? She's kind of
I'll
giving.
explain later.
I'll explain later.
Good side eye.
Elise, you're usually standing at the back of the group. Roll me a perception check.
That's going to be a 9. I have not rolled higher than like a 5
right.
was this roll, 5 was last roll, 8 was the roll before that.
Well, as your party members are having this back and forth, you are startled by a melodious voice behind you, going, "Excuse me, what are you doing in my home?" At my home,
Huh.
I suppose. But that is where we're going to end the episode today.
Cliffhanger.
That is going to be all from us from now. For now. Wow, I am losing my ability to talk here.
It's all the time travel.
It is. I can't remember if it's then or now or next.
The future, the past.
That's all from
Suddenly
us for
the
now.
DM is ripped in half and Construct comes out saying paradox resolved.
When we return next episode, I'm sure the party here will continue to impress us. You can come join the Discord. The link is in the description and help us build the city from the inside. I'd ask you to leave a rating or leave a review and tell us how you really feel about the story so far. Thanks for listening.